Oops. Right, so we should be live now, my love.
Yay!
Are
All right,
we? Let's just check.
let me
So
check it out.
thanks for the peeps who are with us on Zoom. Thank you so much for being so divinely patient. It's lovely being on Zoom, isn't it? Because you get all of your reminders, so you can't quite miss it. But the the only drawback to being on Zoom is that you've got to sit with me for those tedious first few minutes. It's about 3 or 4 minutes um, until I get us onto Facebook. So thank you for your patience, everybody. Right, so uh, let me just share this. So, Susie, have you managed to share it to your page?
Yes, it is done.
Okay. Oops. Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, Susie. Hello, everybody listening. It's Thursday evening for me. What is it for you, Susie? What time of the morning is it for you?
It's about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, your day is just beginning. Look out the window. Can you see the sun's just about to go down. We've all we've all had supper, getting ready for bed. It's that nice time of the evening where everybody's winding down. Hi, I see on Zoom we've got people who are greeting us. It's 1 a.m. That's from Monica. Just remind me, Monica, where are you? I remember you were with us the last time, Monica, and now I've forgotten where you are. Please let me know where you are at 1 a.m., you beloved person.
Super.
Hey.
That's amazing. Wow. I honor you, Monica, for showing up at 1 a.m. Bless your heart. Maybe you're a night owl. Maybe this is the time you're awake. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know. Why are you awake at 1 a.m., Monica? Let us know. And I see that there's some beautiful people joining us on Facebook. Yusuf, my beautiful brother's with us, and Arla McDonald, and Fernando Vossa. Hi, Fernando. Wonderful to have your energy with us. Oh, that's right. Monica's in Singapore. So it's 1 a.m. in Singapore. My gosh. Well, I feel very privileged that Singapore's with us. Thank you so much, Monica. Now, Susie, you are a sister. You're an absolute sister to me. I met Susie, God, it feels like many lifetimes ago, but in reality, it's actually only a couple of weeks ago. I say that and it can't possibly be true.
Doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense.
No, you have it just feels like you've always been in my life. So, this wonderful woman lives in Sedona, and you know what she does? She speaks our language. She speaks the language of love, of consciousness, of integrity. She walks such a magnificent and divine path. Susie, please tell us a little bit more about what you do in Sedona.
Oh, oh man. A lot energetically. And I'm
Yeah.
just sort of beginning to understand a little bit because so much of it is like soul stuff that isn't necessarily in my conscious understanding or awareness. So a lot of it is energetic.
Right.
And um, Sedona is a place where all of all of the light grids that the light workers have set up on the planet coalesce. It's a galactic hub for communication. It's a place where all of the ley lines coalesce. It's a very potent, energetic
Hmm.
vortex.
Wow.
The whole thing is a vortex. I mean, we have many vortices here, but the whole canyon, it's like a bowl. The whole thing is a
Yeah.
vortex.
Wow.
So it's the energy here is very potent and it's very unrelenting. As a super sensitive empath, I feel I feel everything here. I feel the collective, I feel the land, I feel planet Earth, I feel galaxy. It's everything. So it's kind of overwhelming actually.
Wow.
It really challenges my mastery of being with my energy and mastering the energetics of everything just to stay
Mm.
sane and balanced. I mean, it really super challenges me.
Mm. So how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you live in that incredible melting pot of all of the global energies that are streaming onto this planet? How do you cope?
A ton of self-care.
Right.
A ton of self-care.
Right.
I'm on the land and nature as much as possible. I'm drinking my water every day, 3 of these every day. Right. I'm eating the pure food, mostly high vibrational. Sometimes lower vibrational, like, cooked potatoes instead of a salad, just to pound a little bit.
Oh, you rebel, you have a cooked potato.
Sorry to all the raw food vegans out there. Well, potatoes.
I'll hide my packet of potato chips.
There you go. Yeah, eat potato chips. But it's really it's about honoring my body. It's about honoring, and this is what I teach, and this is what I invite everyone to do. You don't need to be a raw vegan to be spiritual. Honor your body and what your body, the nutrition your body needs and what your body's asking for. Because your body has unique needs. You're wired uniquely. You're built a certain way. Your constitution's unique to you. And it's your job to honor it and not follow any nutritional path that someone says, oh, this is what you should do. This is what you need to do. No, what you need to do is honor your body and what it's asking of you. And that's really, really important, especially in this world of spirituality, ascension, and all this. And you need to be vegan if you want to ascend, and that kind of dogma. It's dogma.
Yeah.
It may be your truth, or it may not be, but it's up to you to discover whether it's not.
Absolutely. I think where a lot of people lose sense and sensibility is when they move into judgment, because no matter how righteous their judgment is, it's a low vibrational thing. So whether you're judging somebody for what they eat, or it's a very superficial judgment for what they wear, or it's an even deeper level judgment for, and I spoke about it on the webinar on Tuesday night. We did a webinar on healing. It's a Facebook Live on healing. I spoke about spiritual judgment, spiritual condemnation, which we feel we have a right to comment on a person's spiritual path, because I've often heard people say things like, oh, you've gotten a cold or you've gotten cancer, so you must have done something wrong, you must not have forgiven somebody. And so there's this element of self-righteous judgment. And the irony to all of that is that no matter how justified or unjustified your judgment is, judgment in and of itself is a low frequency vibration. So the moment you've immersed yourself in it, you have become the thing you've judged. You've become it.
There is a difference between discernment and judgment.
Oh yeah.
And this is something I like to highlight, because it's important for us to have discernment.
Yeah.
But we don't have to judge something as right or wrong.
Yeah.
Judgment usually has an emotional charge attached to it.
Yeah.
Or like you mentioned, this, righteousness. But right. But discernment is neutral. It's like, this is for me. Yeah, okay. That's not for me. No, that's not for me. And it's clear, it's neutral. There's no emotional charge either way. It's just knowing, this is for me, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Judgment makes something right or wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And right and wrong is separation and division. So unity is the place that we're headed to. Yeah. And unity happens inside of us. And it happens when we create union of our own opposites. Because think about it, inside of each of us, there is always that faction of war inside each of us. For example, there might be the part of you that is a raw vegan, but loves junk food. There might be a part of you that is incredibly compassionate and patient and tender and gentle, but can be so short-tempered somewhere else. There's a part of you that loves adventure, and maybe there's a part of you that loves control. We are all this incredible amalgamation of opposites that, in order to create unity, we have to embrace all of our own inner opposites, our own inner divisions, to create inner union inside of ourselves. And then we can start seeing the world that we actually were born for, the world we actually want.
I call it transcending polarity, because it is that integration of polarities, and it's something that I'm always working on for myself. I don't know about you, Kerry, but it's
absolutely. Yeah. And it's something that I teach as well, which is no surprise. Susie, you and I are so aligned. Of course, we teach the same thing, speak the same language. And when people say to me, but how? Because very often, we can present this information, creating, for example, this inner union, amalgamating all the opposites. People will hear this and go, wow, it sounds so amazing. It must be so hard. And then they say, but how do I do this? And I say to them, acceptance. And they look deflated. They look absolutely deflated, because they're going like, no, but really how? But what do I do? And I no, really, that's the answer. That honestly is the answer. Because the more we can move into acceptance, the more we can create that union. Because acceptance allows for the discernment that you were talking about, allows for us to overcome the judgments and the divisions and the polarities, and the acceptance will evolve. The acceptance will become things like compassion. It will become things like unconditional forgiveness. But don't even worry about what it becomes. Just focus on the acceptance, and it will be everything you need it to be and more.
I have something that I developed just yesterday, actually, a divine decree, and I'm feeling guided to share it.
Ooh.
Yeah? Okay. It's on my phone. I just have to do a quick few hops over to get my phone.
Oh, goody. Yeah, go get it. Go get it. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I have to read it.
Okay, cool. Isn't it amazing how, and maybe you guys have had this experience in your life, but I find myself being so bowled over by it, how we are connecting more and more with like-minded people. Listen to this conversation. Everything that you say is connected to everything that I say, because there is the synergy. And here we are with our hearts colliding and our realities connecting with all of the listeners that are hearing this. Each one of you are connecting with this bubble of reality. Oh, I love that. Please tell us what this is.
Oh, my head feels so much better now. There's so much energy coming in. I'm like, oh, I need a little support. This is called the Alewa swirl, and this represents the ascended version of Gaia. And it's a special, it's a swirl that the Arcturians gave me. And this is copper plated with gold. So it's a very high frequency, and it supports when I'm doing high frequency things like this. It supports my head, because my physical body just needs a little support at the moment.
I can see it's a 0 point. That's pretty amazing.
Show you the, no, I'm stuck. Show you the other side of it. There, you can see the whole swirl that way.
You see that, Fernando? That's a crop circle. That I know that, and I know Fernando, who's listening, knows that as well.
He's actually been to my property where I created this in the ground. So he's actually walked through it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give a little context for this divine decree, because of what's happening on the planet right now. I know I'm not alone in this. So yesterday, the day before I was triggered, my partner Max is going through this huge expansion, and in that he wanted certain space, and I was triggered with abandonment, which was kind of actually surprising to me, because I worked through this so much. I was like, oh, that's still there? Really? What the, really? Okay.
I know that human moment very well.
Let's look at it. So I asked to be shown what is the core of that. Show me what is the root of this, because this isn't making sense why I'm triggered so deeply. I mean, it was like this really deep trigger. And the answer was abandonment by the sacred masculine and the divine feminine. I was feeling both simultaneously. And I know a lot of people right now on the planet are feeling this because of the chaos that's happening, because of, you know, the travesties that are happening, shootings and bombings and what have you, you know, just that loss that's happening. And people are feeling lost and confused, and at a very deep level, probably feeling that abandonment by the divine.
Yeah.
And because we're in a polarity, we experience the divine feminine feels different than the divine masculine. So this is my way of healing the wound for myself and offering the template for the collective. Here and now, with divinity and the cosmos as my witness, I as my divine self, my I am presence, the I am that I am, and I as divine incarnate in this form, space, and time, generate and embody the sacred masculine and divine feminine within my being for the transmuting of all cellular trauma of abandonment. I'm going to read it again.
I was just going to ask you to do exactly that. Thank you.
I'm going to read it 2 more times. And as I read it, I just invite you to breathe through your belly and feel your heart really receive this. And if you feel like you are called to generate and embody the sacred masculine and divine feminine, then you can feel free to make this your own. Here and now, with divinity and the cosmos as my witness, I as my divine self, my I am presence, the I am that I am, and I as divine incarnate in this form, space, and time, generate and embody the sacred masculine and divine feminine within my being for the transmuting of all cellular trauma of abandonment. Here and now, with divinity and the cosmos as my witness, I as my divine self, my I am presence, the I am that I am, and I as divine incarnate in this form, space, and time, generate and embody the sacred masculine and divine feminine within my being for the transmuting of all cellular trauma of abandonment. Thank you for allowing me to share that. I feel this huge clearing, which feels so good because I've been feeling the collective for like 48 hours now, and it's a little much. Like, tune it down, you guys. No, feel what you need to feel. Don't turn it down.
That was beautiful. That was so powerful. Short, sharp, and sweet. Do you remember I said that before we started? And that was it. That was it. That was so powerful. It was absolute perfection. And it really is a whole new level to what I was talking about. I was talking about the inner union, and you've just taken it to a whole new level. For those listening, please let me know how you experienced that and what you felt, but I definitely felt such an empowerment. I really felt an expansion and an empowerment. Thank you, Susie. That was just inspired is what that was. That was inspired. So thank you to your partner for triggering you.
Yes.
Thank you for your abandonment being available to heal not just you, but everybody else. Thank you. That was very profound.
Yeah, thank you.
Jimmy Pearson. Hello, my love. Jimmy's watching with us. Shahida's watching. And Kelly. Hi, Kelly Farmer. It's wonderful to have listeners with us who can really appreciate what we've all just experienced. So for those who enjoyed that with us, please do let us know. Let us know what that feels like. I'm still vibrating with it inside my body. It was exceptional. It also brings up something that's been such a highlight of my focus today, and that is the divine masculine specifically. You know, we always talk about the divine feminine. And it kind of interests me that a little while ago, a very dear friend and client of mine, she does a lot of work with the goddess energy and divine feminine, and she runs these retreats and really beautiful, beautiful stuff, supporting women in stepping into their divine feminine. And I was doing a reading for her, and I happened to say to her something about the divine masculine. And she just looked at me like I had spoken another language to her. And she said, what do you mean? Yeah, what? And I honestly didn't understand. Like, we just were in different realities. She ultimately didn't understand the concept that there was even such a thing as a divine masculine.
Mm. Oh, wow.
And I didn't understand the concept of somebody not knowing if there was a divine masculine.
Right.
You know? And not only does it exist within all of us, but I feel like women are so quick to want to be honored. I want to be honored. I want the feminine, the divine feminine in me to be seen and to be honored, which is wonderful. And it's each of our job to honor it within ourselves. But the amazing thing is how we don't necessarily see the importance of passing that on and honoring our brothers and our husbands and the men, whether it is a wounded little boy in an adult body or the divine masculine itself. From me, in any case, there is a huge honoring, Susie, there's a huge honoring in my heart for the divine masculine. And I really see the divine masculine rising right now. I really do.
Yes. Yes. People talk about this is the time of the divine feminine rising. And it's like, what about the divine masculine? We need that just as much.
Yeah.
We've been in a patriarchal culture, but that is not what the divine masculine is.
Yeah.
So we need the divine masculine to rise up as well with the divine feminine. If we're ever going to transcend the polarity, we need both to rise up and to integrate and to come together.
Yeah.
And the way we do that is, you know how it works, Kerry, we start with us. That's why I created that decree, so that it's balanced within me. And hopefully I can be a model for that. But, that's where it starts, is within us, integrating both qualities.
And honoring both. I think there's a dysfunction, the wounded feminine. And we always talk about the goddess energy, which is exquisite. But there is also, as there is the wounded masculine, there is the wounded feminine. And the wounded feminine seeks to punish. And she punishes the wounded feminine. She punishes through denial. So she denies the existence of the divine masculine. She becomes dismissive, and she denies the presence of the divine masculine. That's the wounded feminine's MO, and that's how she operates in the world. So we can point to patriarchy or the wounded masculine and say, well, the wounded masculine overpowers. Yeah, that is what the wounded masculine does. But the divine masculine uplifts. The divine masculine is the most supportive, nurturing. Hear that word, nurturing. The divine masculine. Don't you find it to be incredibly nurturing?
Absolutely. And also, the divine masculine gives this focus to our mission.
Yeah.
That helps us stay on point and helps us stay in alignment with what we came to this planet to do. Yeah.
I just wanted take a second here and turn to some of the comments. Judith, hi Judith, she says, I feel, this is a response to your decree. When I asked what did people feel, she says, I felt tingles running on my scalp. So you are having a very, very physical experience. Jax, hey Jackie, she says it was magnificent, so resolute and liberating. Monica says, thank you very much, much love. And Jimmy wrote something very poignant. Jimmy said, I was talking about the wounded little boy, and he wrote, that's why we work together as parents. It's easier to build strong children than to fix broken adults. Jimmy, words of wisdom, man, words of wisdom. Easier to build strong children than to fix broken adults. And how do we build strong children? Well, we've got to heal our own wounds, right? I feel, Susie, that there's been a massive agenda on this planet to emasculate men, to shame patriarchy, and to shame the masculine into submission. And in so doing, to deny any role on this planet and in our own personal healing, deny any role of the divine masculine. So with your beautiful...
Oh, go ahead.
With your beautiful decree behind us, it motivates me to say something, and that is that I really want in this moment to open my heart and the door in my reality and in all realities to the divine masculine, to my own inner divine masculine, and to the divine masculine of each beautiful warrior god that is in a male body on the planet at this time. I want to embrace the divine masculine. Listen to this. I want to embrace the divine masculine of Gaia herself. And I know that there's a lot of people that have just gone, what is she talking about? Gaia is a female presence. Well, actually, think about it. We are becoming one unified species. Gaia is ascending as we are. What do you think's happening with Gaia? Gaia is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. There is a masculine aspect to Gaia. And so in this moment, I really want to honor the divine masculine of this planet. And I want to take a moment, Susie, and I know that your heart is so big and so wide and so powerful. I want to take a moment with you right now to just love, honor, and respect the divine masculine. To see the wounds of the little boy who felt so afraid of failure and so weak and inadequate, who felt he had nothing at his disposal other than the pretense of strength and power. I love him.
We're really sending this also, especially to those men who have been in the military, who have been taught not to feel, who have been taught to remain emotionally hard and distant. It's okay to soften and open up now. It's okay to feel the anger at being shut off from your divine masculine essence. It's okay. It's okay to melt and fall apart and rediscover yourself.
Yeah.
Just for whatever reason, like the military is coming in really strong right now. Talk about being separated from your divine masculine essence.
Oh. My husband comes from a military background. I see it every day. I see his pain. I join you in that love. And in that honoring. And in that welcoming of the divine masculine within each human being, but specifically within each man. moving beyond the shackles of shame. And into the rightful, empowered space. Right there next to the divine masculine is the divine feminine. Partners, lovers, friends. Welcoming each other home. I love you for many reasons, but one of them, Susie, is your ability to just meet me in that beautiful realm of intuition and creativity. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
I love that about you too.
Do you know, if that's our message for today, Susie, honor the divine masculine, then should we just leave it there in that honored space, in that sacred space?
Yeah, I think so. Honor the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honor you. Thank you so much for coming to join me. I had no idea why we needed to join tonight. I had no idea. And I just had absolute trust that there was a message somewhere that needed to be spoken. And your decree just opened the door to it. So thank you. That was really quite extraordinary and beautiful.
It is 11-1. It is, we have the ones lined up today. So this is my intention of what we're setting forth for our creations.
Oh, of course. Yes.
To harmonize the divine masculine and divine feminine within each of our beings.
Right.
So that we can hold this sacred container for the collective to join us in peace, to join us in harmony.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is exactly what it is, an invitation to the divine masculine within each human being. I think there's a great joy for men in giving themselves permission to be here in their divine masculinity. They don't have to do the divine feminine because, of course, it's within all of us already, but there's been a shaming. There's been a chronic ongoing shaming of the role of men. And so with that has been a denial of the divine masculine. And I think that this is just pure celebration for all of us, for the divine feminine as well as for the divine masculine, because man, the divine masculine's been missing. So welcome home, welcome back. Everybody who's tuned in to listen, thank you for making this just a little moment in time that this was. Thank you for making this the powerhouse that it was. Thank you, Susie, for meeting me here. Thank you to each listener. You might be listening to this on the recording, and I'd love for you to let us know. Let us know in the comment section. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please leave us a comment. If you're watching it on Facebook, leave us a comment. How does this feel for you to live in a world where you're embracing the divine masculine and honoring the divine masculine? The divine feminine, nobody needs to tell you to honor the divine feminine. You know that you're allowed to do that. You knew you were allowed to do that long ago. But the rightful partner to the divine feminine has been missing. And now he gets to assume his rightful place.
And to take it kind of one step further, to embody that within your being, not just honoring it when you see it in someone else, but to honor it within your being, and to honor the divine feminine within your being, because not everyone has done that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is something that we still need to look at when it comes to embodying it within us.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's where all of our understandings go. They become embodiments. Each understanding becomes an embodiment. Anna, hi, Anna and Patricia. You know, something that occurs to me right now, Susie, just before we sign off, just a little thought popped into my brain, and I realized, you know, there are so many lonely people in the world. There are so many lonely women looking for their masculine counterpart. And I wonder if it's not because they haven't created room in their mind for their own divine masculine and to embrace the energy of the divine masculine.
Yeah,
and wouldn't
absolutely. That's something that I worked with before I met Max. And when I was really doing that inner work around just releasing ever having a partner in my life and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Bringing in the divine masculine and having it be something that, you know, was a presence with me to nurture me, to hold me. And whether it showed up physically in a person or not, integrating the energy of that. With being.
Yeah. So you hear that? Oh, ye looking for the twin flame and the soulmate and the divine counterpart, whether you're in male form or female form, what would happen if you created space for that honoring within yourself and that integration within yourself? Let us know. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're feeling. It's been beautiful to connect with my beloved sister, Susie. It's been amazing being able to connect with each one of your hearts. Thank you so much for listening. Love each and every single one of you. Bye-bye for now.